Yo neighbors. All right, we've got GIJoe Classified number 54, David L. Bazooka Katzenbogen. Let's take a quick look, a quick review, and one very small modification coming up. All right, so number 54, David L. Bazooka Katzenbogen. He is one of the last that will be in this windowed packaging. Hasbro's going completely plastic free with their packaging. No more windows. It will be, let's see, Bazooka, Recondo, and Python Patrol Officer. That will be the last of the classified figures that have the windowed packaging. They're just going plastic free. I do have a solution for that. I'm going to do a video coming up. We'll see if it gets adopted or not, but it's something Hasbro is already doing. But let's get back to Bazooka here. You'll notice that he's got his name on here, David L. Bazooka Katzenbogen, where Recondo and recently Dusty, they don't have their names on there. I thought this was like kind of in place of the file card since they don't do the file card system anymore. But it's a little inconsistent. I'm not sure why his full name is on here. Who knows? That's the route they're going. Anyway, Bazooka. He debuted in Series 4 back in 1985. He replaced the original Bazooka character, which was Zap. Zap is going to be kind of a deep dive character. I hope they release at some point. But Bazooka took over that role. I guess it was like 3 or 4 years after Zap debuted in the original line. They went with this much bigger guy. If you look at him, I know that a lot of people are saying that this representation of him kind of reminds them of, say, Freddie Mercury or Borat, Sacha Baron Cohen. But when I was a kid, and you know what, I still have my original. Also, this will show you a reason for my modification. Here's my original. This is my Bazooka from when I was a kid. I have no idea where his actual Bazooka is. I still have the backpack here. He looks pretty good, holds up pretty well. You can see this is his original deco, which Classified has already announced is coming out. They are starting with the Tiger Force theme. I'm not really sure why they're going with the version 2 Bazooka. It works. They're working on Tiger Force right now. I always got a vibe of, obviously GIJoe took a lot of influences from football, from wrestling. So I always thought he looked kind of like Mike Ditka, or even more kind of like a... if you guys remember Alex Karras, he was George Papadopoulos on Webster. I always thought that he kind of looked like that, and they still kind of, let's see if I can get them right next to each other, still kind of carry over the same look. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But I always thought of those two guys whenever I played with Bazooka. I mean, he looks great. They did a really nice job. And again, the artwork is just amazing. I think they did a really nice job. It's got a very graphic design look, comic book, cartoony. See if I can get that in there. The artist here is, and I know I'm going to mess up their name, but I will have the QR code right here to check out their work. Anjin, and sorry if I mess that up. People mess up my name all the time, so I hope you understand. This artwork, I imagine, is going to be expanded on when they do the next Bazooka. They'll probably change up the color scheme. It seems to be That's what they did with barbecue. I imagine that they'll do the same thing here, and we'll get to see more of the artwork. I'm going to miss the windowed packaging, but I kind of like the poster type packaging that we're getting. So I know a lot of people are not on board with that. I do, like I said, I have a solution for that hopefully Hasbro will take a peek at and maybe adopt, because they're already doing it, and you'll see what I mean. Anyway, let's get Bazooka opened. Oh, you know what? Before I actually get this open, I'm going to skip this step, but I will do a separate video, and I'll show you exactly what I use this for. But this is just a cheap piece of plastic that comes with like microwavable food. Anyway, you'll see what I mean in hopefully one of my next 2 or 3 videos, but it's important. Alright, so here is Bazooka out of the box. He looks great. He is pinless. And what's interesting about Bazooka is back when this Bazooka first appeared, this was the series where they changed the neck to like the ball joint where they could look up and down. I'm gonna kind of imagine that this new torso, this new waist, they got rid of the ab crunch. Maybe Bazooka is the debut of this new waist joint. Now, this is the first time we're seeing a Joe with this. We've already seen Serpentor with the same type of waist. And here's a comparison in scale. Let's see. Bazooka is still smaller, even though he's always been one of the bigger Joes. Again, I don't really go over the articulation like some other channels do. I mean, here's the Exorcist head spin. Spins around no problem. T-pose. But I'm just going to get him right into the breakdance pose that I like to do, and that should answer all your questions for articulation. Here is our trusty sound wave. Let's get Bazooka into like a breakdance pose, and then we will go over his accessories. Alright, so that's not actually too bad for a big football bazooka wielding dude. The articulation is amazing in the Classified, in the entire Classified line. They definitely have improved since Wave 1. I guess this is wave, I don't even know what wave we're on now. Wave 11? Bazooka and this wave just will continue the trend of great articulation for GIJoe. So let's go, let's put this guy right here. And this goes with the Tiger Force Deco that debuted back in 1988. You can see that his backpack still follows the classic design. And you know, I wish I filmed this, but be careful when you open these missiles. They shoot right out. It was pretty funny. But they shoot right out of the plastic packaging. 2 of them shot right over my shoulders. And I wish I had filmed it, but I didn't. But again, it matches the backpack here, which is pretty cool, which brings me to my modification. He still stands pretty well. I lost my original Bazooka. I have no idea where that is, but this is the Bazooka that comes with Bazooka. It looks pretty good. This comes off here. I imagine we can put these in here. I will mess around with this later, but it does fit on the inside. No blast effects. I think that's something that they should start doing. they should start adding some type of blast effects. I know that they have the little holes now so that you can hold the blast effects. They're coming. So after looking at this backpack and having my original out, this is where the modification comes in. Now, I know I'm not the only one to think of this. I had the idea as soon as I saw them. I saw other people had a similar idea. When I was a kid, I always wondered, what are these backpacks staying on with? There's no straps. And it seems like on a lot of the figures, they have added the straps now to make it look like they're carrying their backpack. They didn't do that with Bazooka for some reason. It's just an oversight. But as they modernize these and they bring a little realism to them, I think that it would have been cool if they included it. So I found that Outback is great for a custom. This is a custom I did for Christmas, Reindeer Force Outback. I'm going to use his straps here. I think I'm going to cut it right here because I think that that's pretty close on the same color as his belt. And another thing I noticed with him, and I'm not sure if this will work, he doesn't come with a small firearm. He's only got his bazooka. So is he attacking from afar? I don't know. If he gets cornered, he's got no way to defend himself. So I'm going to try and put this on his leg, or at least down by his calf. I don't know how safe that is. But anyway, that's the modification, and let me just go take care of that real quick. All right, so Outback is great as like fodder for customs. You can see that his straps fit well. They line right up. His holster here. Now we got the small firearm taken care of. Did I put that on backwards? I put it on the wrong leg. Okay, so as you can see, now he's got backpack straps. Outback is really good for customs. We also now have for his small firearm to have just in case he ever gets captured. But it really matches up with the rest of the color scheme, and chances are you can find Outback pretty easily right now. He's at a lot of Targets. People are calling him a peg warmer now. I don't think everybody's finding him though. If you do get an extra one, some people are reporting some Targets have him on clearance. You can see that he adds a new dimension to Bazooka that I really like. I think it kind of solves that old mystery that I had as a kid as to how that backpack stays on. You can attempt it. Maybe I'm being silly. I don't know. But I think it looks really good. And so does Bazooka. One thing I did notice is that he's got the new torso, the new waist. He's got the pinless elbows, but he still has pins in his legs. So I imagine these are legs that are being reused, and I just haven't taken a look to see whose they are. But either way, he's another great addition. I can't wait for what I consider to be the definitive version in his red jersey. Bazooka Tiger Force. I will get him up on the Lazy Susan, but before that, he's always been one of the big Joes, right? Let's compare him to GIJoe and Roadblock real quick. All right. Now, when I say GIJoe, I truly mean GIJoe. This is the retro classified version, the definitive GIJoe. And when I say Roadblock, I mean classic Roadblock. So you can see it looks like relatively a little bit smaller than these two. I always considered him one of the big guys. I think he's even depicted really big in GIJoe Resolute. We all know what happens there. He's not in the movie for that long, but he is depicted as a Pretty big dude. But anyway, this is how he compares in scale to the other big Joes. And we already saw how they all compare to Serpentor. Let's get him up on a Lazy Susan, and that'll be it. Thanks for watching. Real quick. Although I do really like this new design of the torso, it's kind of a weird figure to debut it on because with the 14, as soon as you turn him, it doesn't line up. So this is where the ab crunch probably would have worked better. So that's really the only thing I don't like about this figure is the 14 gets messed up, but he's a great figure. He's a great figure. Enjoy. Whoops. Go hug somebody.